try doing both.
Where do you think this your defense was up near the top of the ranks in a lot of categories last year? Where do you think y'all can get better as a unit?
As a unit, I feel like our chemistry and just trusting that everybody's gonna do their job, and I feel like we have been doing that, a great job of that. And yeah, that's my biggest thing, like just trusting that you don't have to do too much. A lot of people try doing more than just their job, and that's where we make errors. So.
What's it like working with Coach Keeanu?
Oh yeah, I love him. So we had he was our he was our head strength conditioning coach, and he's definitely, I was friends with him, not friends, but he got me as a person when he was the coach lifting weights, and when he moved to D-line, nothing changed. Like we all get along with him. He gets our sense of humor, but when it's time to play and it's time to get serious, that's what we do. So I like the way that he can have a little bit of fun, but also know when it's time to go to work.
Yeah. Is he a quiet communicator? Does he bring juice like we were talking about? A little energy, he gets a little loud?
Yeah, definitely. I told you, he's just like us. Like when we get loud, he get loud. He feel it. So
it'll be fun. There's a lot that's expected of this team, but you wouldn't want it any other way, would you?
No. I like the way I like it just the way we are.
Yeah. And there's this is down the line when you're probably on playing professional football, but for the possibility of the college football playoff to expand someday, wouldn't that be fantastic? Not only just Wisconsin fans, but other schools across the country. They're right there, but just haven't gotten there yet. Do you agree?
I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I don't want them to have to expand the playoffs for us in order for us to get into the playoffs. I think we just need to work a little bit harder just to get to be those few teams that make it to the playoffs. Like it wouldn't be good to say, oh, we got in the playoffs when it expanded. I want to get in the playoffs now.
Can this team do it?
Yes, definitely.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Jim Lehrer talked about being in nickel a lot, maybe 70% of the time. Going into this season, is your mindset of I need to be on the field for all 3 downs, and how do you kind of work towards that goal?
Definitely. So I've been working towards the goal. I had the athleticism to do it in the previous years, but I just didn't know the playbook as well. So like I told them, like just me knowing the playbook, I do want to stay on the field 3 downs, and I think that's what I'm going to be able to do this year.
You're just a junior, but you're kind of the eldest statesman, on the inside there. Looking at some other guys, either at nose tackle or at end, are there any young guys kind of jumping out at you that maybe you see some potential in that's maybe caught your attention?
Yeah, so Jarvis, he came in, we didn't really know about him, and then he just started asking me for help and asking everybody to come in and help him with stuff, which I do like. I like seeing people go out to reach for help from older teammates. And he's definitely made a jump from when he first came here. And that spring ball, I feel like that spring ball definitely helped him to be a great backup on the team for this coming fall.
And a lot of people talk about technique, 0 technique, 3 technique. As someone who does it, what are the differences between lining up right against the center as opposed to kicking out a little bit? How is that different? And are there similarities maybe between different techniques on the field for you?
So I feel like in the 0 at least, there's way more combos and way more double, even triple teams. But when you get in the nickel package, the 3 and 2 you got to be a little more faster. You got more angle steps and change of direction, so I feel like that's where it comes into play. That's the difference too.
And again, are you surprised when you kind of look back and you came in as a guy? You were a wrestler kind of growing up, and then now you're potentially one of the better players in the Big Ten. Are you surprised at how quickly things have went for you going into your junior season as a guy who plays a true freshman, and now, the role that you have on this year's team?
I mean, yeah, I would say if you asked me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I wouldn't say I would be at this point, but the work that the coaches have helped me put in, my teammates helped me put in, I don't mind being at this spot, and I don't think it's out of the ordinary to be in this spot because of the work that we put in together as a team.
Sure.
When it comes to setting the tone too, especially in the trenches, I mean,
you'd say like we're a pretty veteran group at this point. Since I've been here, we've had 2 or 3 new safeties, so everyone else has been here for at least 4 years for the most part, or they're going on year 4. So the details of the work that we're doing is a lot more specific than just like here's the X's and O's, here's how you line up. It's not like that anymore. It's more like, okay, this is how you can make more plays, breaking at this angle. You know, it's very detailed work now, which is what you want, because now everybody can line up and just go play. So I'm really excited about that as a safety group. We know the defense, and we can just continue to detail up and get better as a whole group.
What has changed with having Jim with you guys? Has it been more detailed? Has he just been around more? Like, what's that been like?
Yeah, he's been around the same. He's available to everybody still. You can go up in his office, which is what I've always loved about him, and you can just start watching film about anything that you want. But splitting up the group, watching film, you can hit a lot more in a meeting than having both groups there. Coach Lehrer likes to, talk about the entire secondary when we're watching film, and now he can just talk more about, all right, here's the safety's job, Coach Poteet, you got the corners job. So you can hit a lot more, and you can do a lot more in a meeting that way, which helps a lot. And then you break off into Indy, for practice, and now he can just focus on detailing up the safeties, and both position groups aren't doing the same drill. The corners can work on their specific drills, and we can work on ours, which I think is going to make a good difference.
2 months in here to the NIL, you've taken advantage of it. What's that been like?
Yeah, everybody says it's the wild west around here. It's been a great experience, just learning the business side of how the universities ran. I mean, I realized I learned how you can't use the Wisconsin logo if you want to use your photo, and if you want to use a logo, it's like a $25,000 down payment. I mean, just learning all those things I think is really interesting. It's a different era. I really hope like this era doesn't become abused, but I think it's a great way for guys to earn something from their hard work, and you can't suck on the field. If you suck on the field, nobody wants to buy your stuff. So you got to obviously do well, and in order to make your business what you want it to be. So it's been an interesting thing. I'm excited that I've just been able to experience it for 1 year, and I think a lot of guys can take advantage of that in a really positive way.
Connor, I got a different line of questioning here for you. One of them being with the NLI stuff. So I know you have some NLI experience now too, but obviously Graham does. Do you own any Graham merch right now?
Absolutely, Graham is the whole reason why why that shirt took off, to be honest, of my own brand, is because he put it on his Instagram story. So I mean, I have nothing to say but thank you to him for that. So obviously, I gotta get a shirt of his. I gotta support his brand as well. So but honestly, he doesn't even need mine. I think he would do just fine without me purchasing one. But he's showed so much love to my own brand, so obviously I want to do the same for him.
A couple other
experience, so it's something that we went through together, and something that we got through together, but more importantly. So we've grown really close.
Could you pinpoint what does this team want? What do you guys want this year?
I mean, I think it's the same answer every year. We want to, obviously, we got to win the first game. We got to win the next game. We got to, win the West. So, I mean, it's probably, if you ask anybody, it's probably the same goals we have every year. We just hope and we know that we put in the work this year, and, through more work and dedication to the playbook and to our technique and listening to our coaches, we hope that, we have different results.
Coach Christ also used two words a lot today, confidence and trust, not just for the coaching staff, but for the players. As hearing that right now, what's your response on that?
Definitely. I think the confidence continues to grow every day, especially having an extra year for a lot of guys. Just that extra year just brings more confidence, because, the more experience you have playing the game, the more confident you're going to be on the field. And since we've had these breaks where we have to stay at home, we just had more and more time in the playbook, and the more you study, the more you're confident on the field.
What 2020 takeaways are you taking into this season?
Let's see. I would just say no matter what happens, no matter what adversity we go through. Last year it was a spike of COVID on our team. Whatever adversity we go through, we're gonna just bulldoze through it, no matter what happens. And I think we can be consistent with that.
Last fun question for me: who won the dance battle, by the way? I'm curious.
I don't know. Some of those guys are getting a little freaky. I had to leave. I had to leave.
What song was it? Could you even?
There was like light songs in the background, but they're just like going to the. I'm not cultured in that, so I don't even know how to judge it.
What did you learn about yourself, the last few this year? How did you grow as a football player and as a person?
I think I learned how important it is to, give hope to people. Like when things are going wrong, it's definitely easy to get down. Like, oh, why are we doing this? Oh, we lost these games, but it's important to keep your head up, and if you want to be a leader on this team, you got to like pull guys along with you. And I feel like I've done good vocally on this team the past couple of years, but I think just bringing that extra like hope and like extra like, okay, we can do this, mentality is important.
What's it like working with Jack? You and him every day, getting each other better and competing against each other.
For sure, it's always a competition. That's the biggest difference between high school and college. It's every single drill we do out here, every single rep is you're competing, and Jack's obviously a really talented linebacker, and to be able to compete with someone like him, it's always like we're always getting each other better. And especially him, he's very precise in his technique as well. Mike is too, but Jack has a way. He has like an instinct to things, so there's something to learn about from him too.
In the spring, Coach Bostad talked about his philosophy of basically playing you and Jack till he couldn't. Do you guys envision that to be the same this year, where you expect to be on the field for maybe every defensive snap that you guys play? I
don't know what inside the brain of my position coach. I don't know if a lot of people do. But no, I was kidding. I'm kidding. But we're gonna play. That's our thought process. We're gonna play as much as we can. Like as players, we want to play as much as we can. We love the game, but if our Coach Bostad tells us, hey, get out, let the other guy play, we're happy to, because we know all those guys are capable. We've trained together, we've worked hard together the past couple of years, and we know they're capable of playing.
The depth there is better. Can you speak to the guys who maybe have taken a step, or you expect to maybe take another big jump this fall?
Yeah, I think it's tough to say one individual, just because I just see all of us getting better, especially with so much individual time, working on football specific time. Let's see. I would say I can't point out a specific player, honestly. I see lots of guys in different areas.
Sure.
Your position coach was talking about kind of like the mental edge that Jack brings to the game and how he kind of had that head for the game since he got here. I didn't know if you would notice that, or any examples you had of kind of where he's kind of shown that.
It's just he uses logic well, logic in how things bringing up scenarios to really question. He's always asking questions as well, okay, what happens in this situation? And then some of our coaches are like, oh, okay, and he's bringing up really good points about our defensive schemes that maybe haven't been thought about as well. So he's almost like a mini coach, to say he's helping in all areas of the game.
Just look back on all the memories, all the jump arounds. The fans make the game, and they make a lot of memories and a lot of moments. So to have them back this year for this season would be special.
What's Wisconsin's 2021 culture?
Shoot, our culture is, I think it's earning our respect. People aren't too high on us, aren't too low on us. I think we just have to go out there and prove ourselves and be who we say we are.
You mentioned Hank Poteet, and obviously last year you guys were probably a little frustrated with some calls with your physicality at the quarterback position. I know he's kind of stressed to continue to play physical, play aggressive. What has his messaging kind of been this offseason? You've gotten to know him as your position coach.
Well, with him is you get out what you put in. He doesn't. As a cornerback, you should always be perfecting your craft, no matter how good you think you got it. it can always be improved. And with me being a 6th year and not only having one class this fall, he sees it as no reason why I shouldn't be up here working every day and spending most of my time here every day. You know, because he was, I believe he was at Pitt when Aaron Donald was there, and as good as a player Aaron Donald is, and for him to witness that, he just puts that on us. So I just listen, and I just try to be the best player I can be.
So there was we talked about the Big Ten Media Days. He talked about how it's potential that you guys could certain matchups trail separate receivers, both sides of the field. Is that something that you would be open to potentially? Like if there's a big guy that you guys are having trouble with, you go on because you got that size, and Fayon could go on potentially a smaller guy.
Oh yeah, for sure. We kind of mimicked that in 2019 against Oregon. They had me in the boundary against Juwan Johnson. They put Fayon on number 3. I think it's always good to match up. I mean, I would love to follow a number 1 receiver all game, but if the number 1 receiver is a smaller guy, it would make more sense to put Fayon on him for matchup purposes. But I think me and Fayon are good enough and trust each other enough to, I can go left side, he can go right side, and we can play there the whole game. It doesn't matter who we face, because we're going to give it our all. We trust ourselves, and we know we can go out there and guard anybody.
Spring, but when you met with Coach Witta, just what were some of the things you felt like you needed to get better at to kind of put your stamp on Wisconsin and be one of the top duos? Or
personally, since I know me and Danny were very disappointed with how things went last year, and I know of course obviously the fans were kind of disappointed with things go, and neither of us wanted that to happen, but just personally, just me, at least trying to come back for that Indiana game and then just seeing getting injured when I came right back out there, just me not finishing the way that I wanted to finish off. Like I said before, probably last year was the most games I've missed in my lifetime. Throughout my sports career, since I was little, I've never missed that many games, being out because of an injury, and I've been blessed for that. I've been blessed because of that, but just playing those 2 games or 1.5 games last year, this is my last year, is this how I really want to go out, leaving Wisconsin, and then just knowing what the team is going to be capable of this year, and just I know what we could have been capable of last year if we had me and Danny out there, but just coming back this year, okay, now we got to go out there and prove to people, show people, okay, I know you guys missed us last year, but you got us, and plus we got some young guys coming up too that can make this receiver corps pretty dangerous.
Are you the fastest guy on the team?
Between me and Isaac.
Was that a legit 4.37?
That's where I was going, yeah.
So, if you time it yourself, it's a clock between, in the 4.3s all over. You could if you watch it on your phone or go film the video with your own stopwatch, it's probably I was clocking between 4.35s, 4.37, but I was consistent. If you test it over consistently, a 4.37, but that was laser though. So by the time combine though, we gonna get that down to low 4.3s. Hope maybe high 4.2s maybe. I'm being.
So was that surprising to you when you saw it?
Well, yes and no. I knew I was fast, but I haven't ran a 40 in. I think the fastest, the last time I ran a 40 was. We ran something here before, but I was a 4.4 or something. And that was my freshman year. I ran one at Illinois my sophomore year of high school, and I ran the 4.45 there. So I knew I was I know I'm fast, but I just wanted to see test my time. And then I didn't honestly before I ran it, I wasn't feeling that good either. Then, so I didn't expect what time I would get. And then I ran, and then he said the time out loud, and I kind of heard everybody back there screaming. I was okay, I must have did a decent I must have did a good time. And then when he told me, I was okay, I can work with that. I can get that down if I train when I train for the combine stuff. Pro day, train for those 8 weeks, I can get that down to a low 4.3, maybe high 4.2s.
Isaac had a big track background. Did you have a similar path like he did? Because he even talked about maybe running here when he was during your recruiting process.
I did. Last time I did track was probably 7th or 8th grade.
Okay.
And I did high jump. That's because most of the time, basketball, that's what's my favorite sport. So I was always playing basketball. I'll go from football season to basketball season, and then probably have a little time off, and then like it's AAU. So like during track season, I'll probably be like traveling playing AAU basketball, and then like right after that, straight back to football. So I never really did track. If I could go back in time though, I probably would go back and run track and I probably could be a little bit faster than I am now. So.
Do you think you and Danny can form one of the better kind of receiver tandems Wisconsin's had? I know, not asking you to go through the history of Wisconsin receivers, but just, I'm sure that's got to be something you've talked about, right? And
Definitely.
Why do you think you can do that?
Just the playmaking ability that we have, Danny just making those crazy catches that he does, like as he's seen over the career, just him making crazy catches, what he does after the catch and just making plays. And then me with my athletic ability, my speed, just us having that dynamic duo, me putting the threat on people downfield, Danny just being a threat out there as well. And we got Ferg out there. So it's like, of course, me and Danny, because we were roommates last year, but like we're gonna live together this year. But nothing happened, we just live separate because it's our last year. But just, last year we were talking about it all the time, like just the season, just what we want to do, what we want to accomplish here, like knowing we're capable of, like you said, being one of the top duos in here. If we just got to go out there and prove. And I think the stuff we did this summer, the time we put in, the extra throwing, just coming out here doing extra drills, I think it's going to pay off, and you guys are going to see something special from us this year.
Last year, he had that great game against Illinois, and then maybe had some issues as far as, just growing pains, I guess. You expect him to grow even more this year?
Yeah, he was young, too. I think people forget how young he was last year, so I thought he had a great year last year, and, each year he's going to continue to get better just off knowledge and off our coaches. We have a great coaching staff. So, yeah, for sure. And like I said earlier, we had a great camp, like summer camp this year. We all were throwing like pretty much every day, just trying to keep that connection in everybody. So, I think he's going to grow tremendously.
And this is your 5th year. Do you feel like, what are your goals? What do you hope to obtain coming back now?
For me, would just be more of like being more of a vocal leader, I can say. Kind of taking the younger guys under my belt. Because, I've played a lot of football, played a lot of games, so just some of the things I see and young guys don't see, just trying to give them, help and stuff. Because in the past, like, I was more of a lead by example, but now I'm just trying to be more focused, so just to give guys input on what they need to, fix and get better on.
Where's your favorite place in Madison besides here?
Favorite place? Food-wise, or are we talking about?
You tell me. If you talk food, I'm going to enjoy it.
If we're talking food, I'm talking about, all right, I'm a Natty's. You ever had Natty's? Fried catfish and
I have
chicken
not,
wings.
but that sounds amazing.
You should check it out. Lemon pepper chicken wings and catfish Natty's is one of my best spots. Hold it down. T-shirts? Yes, sir, and big T-shirts. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Dan.
Yes,
Is Kendric the fastest guy on the team? Because he said he might be.
Him or Isaac Garindo, I would say. Them two are different type of speed. But yeah, I would say probably between Kendric and Isaac, probably each day could differ. They're both flat out can run.
When he ran that 40 here, was that surprising? And is that something you guys talk about in the locker room in terms of like, yeah, this is the fastest dude? Because people talk about, he's the strongest guy like the Chenals. Is that something you guys talk about?
Yeah, sometimes, especially in the receiver room. You know how this stuff can get competitive. But when he ran it, me, I've been here with him for like 4 or 5 years. So I know his potential. I know what he can do. So I wasn't as much surprised, but I know it's still crazy to be able to run a 4.3 in the middle of the summer. Like, that's still a great accomplishment. So, I was proud of him and stuff. So, it's just to continue to keep working and put together a full season for both of us, and I'm looking forward to it.
Talent-wise, is this maybe the deepest group that you've been a part of here?
Yeah, I would have to say so. I would say it's different too. Like I love the way this group, everybody gets it right here. And I feel like that's some of the most important things. Like everybody can make those plays, everybody can do things on the field, but it's right here that makes you different from the others. So I believe this team is grinded greatly, and I'm looking forward to it.
Danny, it's your 6th year.
I'm saying that it's like a huge market. And like coming from like a guy like me, like obviously you get deals, but you can make it as busy as you want it to be, and you make it as clean as you want it to be. So for me, I think that like everybody thinks it's this big like multi-billion, like all these players are getting millions and millions. It's not the case. Like if you are doing that, then something's going to probably falter on the field. Like you're taking away from your film study, all that stuff. So for me, it's like. I'd say the most surprising thing is that it's
not a distraction at all. I think that's a really good thing for him. We got a game on September 4th. That's the only deal I'm worried about right now.
What about Braylon Allen? How happy are you to have him on your side of the ball?
Dude, Bray's just a freak. Like I don't even know how to explain it. I've never seen a running back that big, throw around that much weight. Like, he's just a freak. It'll be cool to see what he does in camp. Because I haven't seen him run the ball yet, but I've seen him in just one-on-one workouts and stuff like that. So it'll be cool to see him.
How different is this fall camp for you? Obviously, last year with COVID and everything, taking that out of the equation, how different is it for you going into this? You're the guy. Like last year, Jack hadn't got hurt yet. You were still playing behind him. How different has this process been this summer and everything, you being the guy?
I've never, the point I'm at right now, I've never been at before stepping on the football field. Just my overall level of comfort and confidence in my ability. The guys around me, we're going to be ready to go. I know that for sure. Right now, if you told me I had a game in a week, I'd be ready to go. So the area of development, just the mental edge and everything that I've put myself into and through this offseason, I'm excited to just kind of let it out in September 4th.
Jake said last week that during Big Ten Media Days, he had gained even more confidence. I didn't know how that was possible because I think you're like one of the more confident guys I've ever met. Where did you gain confidence to even push that higher?
I think that it's just being truly honest with yourself and knowing where you're falling short and just attacking that with everything you got. And for me, that was just like, I've been working a lot this offseason with our mindfulness coach, Chad McGee, and really just kind of diving into that and seeing how I can kind of just stay steady at all times. I've probably been on the phone with him for, I don't even know, 300 hours this offseason. So for me, that just kind of, the biggest thing is being honest with yourself and just having that humility to know, like, all right, I'm falling short here and how I need to grow. I think that's where I've grown in this confidence thing, is I've attacked those things with everything I got and made them better.
Do you feel like the oh, sorry, go ahead.
Danny and KP having them back, I'm sure you're asked about this